Hello, Mr. Whaley here, and I'm helping you plan your heart rate investigation here at the last minute. If you haven't done it, you're stuck, you're confused, frustrated, you don't know how. So, assignment is 2.2, plan a heart rate investigation. So I put my title there at the top of my paper. Do this on paper if you haven't done it yet. Do it just like this. Your driving question, all of us have the same driving question. How can we plan or design a heart rate investigation? So make sure you have your title, 2.2, plan a heart rate investigation. Driving question, how can I or we plan or design a heart rate investigation? Pause the video, write that down. Okay, now, unpause the video if you haven't already. Research is our next step in the scientific method. Everybody did the same thing for research on this one. We watched examining the effects of exercise on pulse rate on a YouTube video. And I answered questions. How many questions was it? 8 questions about the people in the videos, scientific methods. I answered those questions in assignment 2.1, heart rate methods. If you answered each of those 8 on level, then you got an 80 out of 80. Pause the video and write down your research. Then unpause the video, write down investigation question. This is your investigation question. It's going to look something like this. What are the effects of blank on pulse rate? So what are you curious about? What can you test? Pause the video, write investigation question, write down your investigation question. Don't leave it blank. Otherwise you're not planning, right? You got to do the plan. Next, write your hypothesis. Put hypothesis over here on the left. If I blank for this many seconds, my pulse rate will increase or decrease by this many BPM, or beats per minute. So write down your hypothesis. Pause the video and write down your hypothesis. Next, write down safety. For example, avoid trip hazards, wear proper clothing and shoes. That's an example. So write a safety according to what your plan is going to be. Don't put nothing. You can't put nothing for safety. You have to have something there. Materials. Is it, for example, timer? You'll have to have a timer because you're timing things. Pulse rate monitor or heart rate monitor, something like that. Or you'll just have to use a timer and your fingers to count your beats per minute and calculate that. Okay? Once you have that, you're going to write your procedure in at least 7 steps. Your last step will be graph results, but your other steps will be the directions you'll give yourself. How will we collect evidence of the effects of blank on heart rate? So these are your steps. You got to come up with these because you're planning and designing an investigation. And you're showing that you know how you'll be able to collect your evidence. Pause the video and write your 7 steps. It might take a few minutes. If you didn't do assignment 2.1, heart rate methods, then it'll be harder. But if you broke down what their steps were, if you pause their video like we did in class, then you shouldn't have any problem. You can do almost the same thing. You just might do different activities where you measure and count your beats per minute. Finally, when you finish your procedure, write your analysis. And some people actually start here before they do their steps. So how will I analyze my evidence? Well, we will compare. We'll compare resting heart rate to whatever it is we're examining the effects of. And 2, we're comparing resting heart rate to something else that we can compare to. So for example, in the video, this was walking slowly, this was walking quickly. And then 3, we're comparing heart rate something to something. So this one might be resting to running. So we might have resting to slow walking, resting to fast walking, resting to running. Or you might do something like resting heart rate to walking up the stairs, resting heart rate to running up the stairs, and then compare walking up the stairs heart rate to running up the stairs heart rate. Those are some examples of how you might set up your analysis. So you set this up, and then you're going to do it after you do these steps for real life, and you look at your graph, and you'll be able to answer these questions about comparing. That's all you got to do for your plan. Make it whale money.